So what about taking the stuff that you brought, while you were out there?
Right. So, um, yeah, like I said, I mean, I basically, I guess you could call it wake and baked, like
Yeah, yeah.
woken, swallowed. I don't know, but I took at least one of those pills every morning the whole time I was there, like a daily vitamin, and just kind of like chilled, and I was had a cocktail in my hand by like 10 o'clock in the morning every day. Uh,
Dang. How many
yeah,
days were you out there?
um, 5.
Oh
Full,
shit.
yeah.
That is a hell of a wedding. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it really was. There was 110 people at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and they were partying. Like I drank, I mean, the night of the actual wedding, I drank like 10 gin and tonics. I think I counted. Um, and I mean, I drank other shit too, but there was 10 gin and tonics, and I think they were watering the booze down because I didn't have a hangover or nothing the whole time. But uh,
Could have
I
just been
think
those daily vitamins.
I think the cannabis pills help with that, and they help me just kind of like, and they've got the CBD in it too, so it's
Yep.
like I don't know, it's just like a smooth, like I was able to like pace myself with drinking and stuff. But the other people at the wedding were getting drunk as fuck. Like they they did this one thing with this big boat ride, and almost all 100 people went on it, and it was like this sailboat, and like I took like 2 pills before that because I also get motion sickness, so like I took them kind of medicinally for that reason, and I had a good time just kind of, I don't know, living that boat life, just out on this boat, and they had music, and it was a booze cruise kind of thing. Um, and they took people out to go snorkeling, but I didn't go snorkeling. I didn't feel like doing that.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, so like I was just kind of like stoned, just like walking around with a drink, like talking to all these people that, like I didn't know really who they were. Not even like, it's just the common thing. Like, how do you know the bride and groom,
Yep.
and like, it's just like talking, that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I saw this girl get off of there, and they're a little younger than me. They're like, in their 30s, I think, most of my brother-in-law's friends. And this girl was like, I don't know, pretty small, like, less than 100 pounds or whatever. And I mean, everybody had been drinking a ton and dancing on this boat and all this stuff. She was so drunk that like 2 big football player dudes couldn't really even carry her back because she was so like flopping all over the place. I saw her face plant like 5 times, and like it was just kind of funny. Like I I don't know. I imagine she threw up. I didn't see her throw up, but like she was
Yeah.
definitely blackout puke drunk. Um, so there was people like partying like that. I wasn't doing that. I was definitely pacing myself and like just having a good buzz, like just
Yeah,
baked as
yeah.
baked as fuck off these pills, and then just drinking. Like I was trying to get a different cocktail every time, and uh, you know, like I drink tequila, but I like a really good tequila, and I drink it just on the rocks, But
Okay.
because there was like a bar that, or bars that like that was in Mexico, like that's the main thing. They got like 10 different tequilas there. I was just like trying different tequila drinks and stuff that I would never order at a bar.
Yeah. Well,
So
with it
that's
being all inclusive, that's perfect.
right. Yeah. So that was most of the time. And then like I was kind of mixing that with kratom too. Like kind of staggering. Like I would take like a pill of the cannabis butter or whatever in the morning, and then like right before lunch or something, I would have some kratom, and then like right after, so I was like just kind of had like the good, you know, dopamine high like all day long. Um, and then the day after the wedding, or the last night we were there, actually, they had this party on the beach. They had like a little section. They put a bar out there, and then like some lights and a campfire ring, um, and like a sound system, and like my brother-in-law's friend was like playing guitar. He played guitar during the wedding. The wedding was like on the beach too. It was beautiful. But um, so for that, my wife and I took mushrooms, and You were supposed to like wear white, like, you know, white linen,
Mm-hmm.
flowy, you know, clothes. It was pretty cheesy. But I took, I don't know, I'd say like between half a gram and a gram, you know, maybe like 0.7, 0.6. It's kind of hard to tell because I mixed the pills because I had to open up the ones that had the placebo in them
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then like combine, you know, and so like most of them were like 0.15 or so, but there was definitely some that were double that. So, you know, I didn't want to take more than a gram just because like it wasn't a total tripping situation because
No, no.
we're at a wedding party or whatever, but um, you know, wanted enough to feel it, not be a microdose. And you know, my wife has a way higher tolerance than me, so like she kind of was just like, oh, I feel like floaty, you know, and like just felt really good, but definitely didn't have any like psychedelic moments or whatever. um but like I definitely felt and it's weird, even at a lower dosage like that, even in a situation like that, I still had like a fucking come up anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, after hanging around with these people, partying for 3 days, 4 days straight, I still had, once I felt like the come on, I had this like anxious, like, oh, I gotta get out of here, you know, like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be at this party, and that's so weird. It didn't last long, but I definitely felt that, you know.
What was
Um,
it? Just like the reality of it all settling in, and like not knowing these people, being in a weird location, or
yeah, and like that whole like, oh, they know I'm tripping. That
oh
kind of thing.
yeah,
That kind of thing. Even though I wasn't tripping, you know, but
no,
um that feeling of like they know I'm on mushrooms. They know, you know, or whatever. I mean, the same irrational paranoia that I had thinking, you know,
yeah, with
they were gonna
the
bust my because of my one cannabis pill.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
But yeah, so that didn't last that long. But once I got over that, I went in, like, you know, they had it done up with like lights so that, you know, everyone's clothes were glowing kind of bluish and stuff like that. So it was kind of like surreal, trippy. It was out on the
Yeah,
beach, like the waves and everything, and like you could see the stars. Awesome. Um, it was like the perfect temperature down there at that time. Uh, and so we like walked down the beach to get away from the lights and stuff, and like the stars just like popped, man. Like, and well, I don't think we had gone down to the beach at night any of the other nights, but that was definitely like the best, clearest sky the whole time we were there too. And that like I had decided to take mushrooms, and you know, it was like the last night we were there, and it was an awesome trip. And it was just like that kind of bliss moment that uh I don't know, you strive for on mushrooms, whether it's a high dose or a low dose. I feel like, you know, of like at one with the universe, nothing's wrong, everything's in its right place, kind of thing. And you know, I have to say, like, for as much as that all inclusive resort isn't a fair representation of the culture of Mexico,
hmm,
and it was just a beach that, I don't know, I just got in a plane and then got in a taxi and ended up in this place. Like, they could have taken me, I could have been in Florida or Hawaii. I don't know. You know, there wasn't anything distinctly uh, Mexican about it. It was just a beach. But that being said, I could have been on any beach with that experience and just felt the same thing of like, you know, I don't know. It's just a top five looking at the stars moment of my life, really, you know,
dude, that's great.
you know, and I mean, there's I adore space so much that I do actually have like I could remember specific moments, whether they're on specific drugs or not, of looking at the stars, and as much as people remember, you know, sports games that the outcome or something in their life, you know, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just, you know, there's these moments that are burned in my brain, and that one on, you know, half gram or more of mushrooms on a beach in Mexico, walking with my wife and her cousin. Like I was just like googly eyed staring at the stars, and
Yeah.
it was pretty awesome. And like for that to be the last night and to leave on that,
That's perfect.
it was great. Yeah. I mean, it really was. Uh,
There's something special about just looking up and seeing the infinite space.
it really is, and being on that low dosage too,
Yeah.
like it goes to show that like psychonauts and psychedelic advocates, right? We all talk about the universe within and seeing, all the things we talk about on DMT or whatever that and relate that all to space. We're always like, I saw the galaxy get created and destroyed right in front of me, and I'm part of it. Like that's a cool experience to have for sure. But experiencing the universe from our perspective, from not changing our perspective, just having enough to make us realize what our perspective is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's important too, and it makes you think about how like those stars are there all the time and the blue sky is just an illusion, and that, yeah, the galaxy, the universe, all these celestial bodies that are all around us that we can see with our naked eye, it's a very grounding moment, and we don't get to do that enough, especially, I mean, I live in just a suburban area and it's hard for me to see the stars, and I can't imagine, I
There
can't
are no
imagine in
stars
Chicago,
here.
there's nothing there, so,
No.
and I would say most people, fall into one of those two situations, that there's so much light pollution and it's so hard to get away to see stars that like, I don't know. It's a special moment to be able to appreciate it. And I mean, maybe I didn't need the mushrooms to do that. But they definitely helped me capture the gravity of that moment,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one of the first times that I went to Colorado with my girlfriend, and we rented an Airbnb up in the mountains, like high up in the mountains of Western Boulder. And yeah, that first night when you're just like looking up, and it's just dude, living in the big city, like it's cool and all, or a big city I should say, but like you forget it's there. Like
Mm-hmm.
you forget the stars are there. It's like you see it in pictures, you see it on YouTube videos maybe, or long exposure film, and you have to like convince yourself that it's real because you don't see it,
Yeah.
like in real life. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were out there and whoa, it was just so powerful. Definitely under the influence of an edible. Um, but either way, you're just looking up, and the coolest thing about it too is the longer you stare, the more it reveals because your eyes
Yeah.
adjust to the darkness. So
Yeah.
you could stare forever. And man, I was just looking up, and I just remember me and my girlfriend just crying. It was so cool, and like I mean, just hearing the story makes me want to get and see go see stars somewhere like as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something we take for granted, and you have to be grateful in those moments where you get to just sit there and look at the stars,
Yeah,
I mean, that is one of the special things about my place in New York, is it's far enough away from anything that you can see the Milky Way and stuff like that. I don't know enough about astronomy to. There's like a certain season where like that part of the world is lined up with the Milky Way, and you get to see it when it's not like 4 in the morning or something. Uh, yeah, but if you go towards the end of the summer, like you can like see the Milky Way, and uh, that's a really humbling thing too. I just saw regular stars down here in Mexico,
yeah,
but if you get away from enough light pollution and you're at the right time where you're lined up with the Milky Way and you can see, the clouds. It's not just stars. There's the friggin'
Yep.
clouds of stars,
Yeah.
like you're just seeing the big ones, and when you can see that we're part of this big disk of things that are just like of an, almost uncountable amount of things that are just like the thing we're on.
Yep.
It's a creepy experience almost, like I've had
Talk about
several.
trippy.
Yeah, no, I know. Like you get stuck confined to this earth, and just all the goings on. And yeah, to see that like we're part of a galaxy which is minuscule compared to what everything else is out there, and look at how big it is from our perspective. It's creepy. A friend of mine said that he was looking at the Milky Way on some vacation, I think out in Colorado as well, and that he got like anxious and like scared, and like, I think he was tripping or real high or something, and he was like, I felt like I was gonna fall off the planet because I felt like I was just like out,
In
like
there, like in
yeah, I was like
space.
out in the galaxy, yeah. And, I could see that, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, space can make you feel like all the goings on in like society and politics and religion and all the things that everyone spends their time arguing about and worrying about and talking about, makes humans feel big, right? Because that's the world we've created. That's the reality
Yeah.
we've created. But the thing is that the physical world, or at least this dimension, the third dimension, we're tiny. We're nothing. Our lifetime and our physical size is absolutely nothing compared to everything else that's there.
Yeah.
And it's weird that those moments, it takes being there. It takes being in a place that you can see all of that. But in a lot of times it takes a little, some chemical to go into your brain to like,
Remind you.
to remind you and to connect your eyes to your brain in that matter, that you're like, oh shit,